Calibrating cybernetics.
Talk to him now.
AT, Andre.
Come on, Dre.
Yep. Trippin with Let's Go. Woo! Trippin with Theobold.
What's your name?
Theo so bold.
Yeah.
Driggity. Let's go. Trippin with Theobold. Trippin.
What are we doing?
Trippin with Theobold.
Come on, Dre.
Mic check 1 2. Hey, what's going on, y'all? Welcome to another edition of Trippin with Theobold. I'm your host, Andre Theobold, and I'm coming to you live from Theobold Studios, where you do it yourself. Do it yourself productions. We here. Yeah, before we go any further, make sure you guys hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and tell a friend to tell a friend, and do all that fun internet stuff like the old people say. Man, the voice is getting kind of parched. Do all that fun internet stuff like the old people say. So, I'm not gonna BS, but let's go ahead and get on with the show. So as you guys know, over how we do in Trippin with Theobold land, we got to do the tongue twisties. So today's tongue twisties is brought to you by the letter O. So here we go. Uh-oh. Tongue twisting number 1. This is a hard one. Olivia Armando openly offered organic oranges. Olivia Armando openly offered organic oranges. One more again. Olivia Armando openly offered organic oranges. Tongue twisting number 2. Olivia often opted for olives with her oranges. Olivia often opted for olives with her oranges. One more again. Olivia often opted for olives with her oranges. And the last tongue twisty. Ollie Octopus eats okra, onions, and oranges. That's a hell of a diet. Ollie Octopus eats okra, onions, and oranges. Ugh. One more again. Ollie Octopus eats okra, onions, and oranges. And yay, tongue twisties are done. Got them out the way. Time to get on with the show. So here we go. So when the Bills traded Stephon Diggs, as you guys know, I was like, yes. Like I said, I don't dislike Stephon Diggs. You know, he just isn't a fit for what we trying to do. We can't win a championship with him. I'm not saying he's never going to win a championship. I'm not saying, but in this configuration or in the past configuration of the Bills that we saw this past season, we weren't going to win a championship with that. Don't get it twisted. Stephon Diggs is a gifted, talented receiver, but for what we trying to do, that shit ain't going to work. So all that off-season tweeting and all that other shit, I was like, man, good. We don't got to worry about that. So a lot of Bills Mafia, man. I was reading a lot of y'all posts, man, and looking at a lot of social media, and a lot of Bills Mafia, man, they were talking crazy, man. They were like, "Oh man, we gotta replace Diggs, and we lost Gabe Davis, and we lost so and so, and oh man." Oh man, we gotta trade up in the draft, man. We gotta give away future picks, man. Our window's closed. The window is never fully closed with Josh Allen. As long as we got Josh, the window is always open. And it's gonna be open. So I just want to do like a quick trip down memory lane and do a draft recap of the recent, 2024 Bills draft or NFL draft. But I want to take a trip down memory lane, man. You know, because me, I watch a lot of football, man. I've been watching football. I've been studying this shit for a long time, and I think I might know what I'm talking about. All right, so here we go, man. Where do I start with this? Let me go ahead and pull up the data right quick. I may even go to Line Star to show y'all something. But let's start with this. Okay, so here we go. Actually, let me do this. Draft recap. So first, let me start with, let's actually go back to 2020's draft right quick. All right, let's go back to 2020's draft. This is the round. These are the first round picks of the 2021 NFL draft. And let's take a look at the receivers, right? So I'm looking at this draft because this was the last draft where the receivers were, well, this is the draft where Justin Jefferson came out of, who is arguably the best receiver in the NFL right now. But look who got picked ahead of Justin Jefferson in round 1. Henry Ruggs. I think he's in jail now. Jerry Jeudy. Who else got picked ahead of him? CeeDee Lamb. Well, CeeDee Lamb is dope, so I'm not mad at that pick. But Jalen Reagor got picked ahead of Justin Jefferson. So all these people in Bills Mafia wanted to trade up. So really, there's only 2 receivers that were really worth anything in the first round of this draft. Only 2. CeeDee Lamb and Justin Jefferson. So if the Bills are struggling with the cap, right? If we're struggling with the cap and we had to cut people, why are we going to try to trade up into a draft to have a 2 out of 5 chance, right? A less than 50% chance of landing a stud receiver just to give up picks in the future. So in my post on social media, I was a big advocate of trading back. I was like, man, if you got to trade out and just, because what I wanted, so here's the thing, right? So recap, Brandon Beane did exactly what I wanted him to do and then some. You know, not only did he trade back, he traded out of the first round. All right, let's take a look at what happened, right? So if you look at the Bills, you don't see the Bills. The Bills originally were supposed to pick, I believe, I think we were supposed to pick 28, I think. Yeah, we were supposed to pick 28. And the Bills traded back with the Chiefs. Well, the Chiefs picked up Xavier Worthy. So look at all these receivers. Look at all the players in general. But let's take a look at the receivers, right? So if you look at the receivers, you got Rome Odunze. I'm not sure if I ever said his name right. Rome Odunze or Odunze. You got Marvin Harrison Jr., Malik Neighbors. Who else? Brian Thomas Jr., Xavier Worthy, Ricky Pearsall, and Xavier Legette. Man, my nose keep itching whenever I gotta talk. Man. So all these receivers ain't gonna be shit. 2 of them, I would say probably 3 max. Three of these receiver max are gonna be something, right? So Marvin Harrison Jr., he's probably gonna be a stud, right? And everybody else after that, I don't know, but only 2. It's not gonna be more than that. It's only gonna be. So here's the thing, right? Even when you look at Marvin Harrison Jr., going to the Cardinals, that's not going to be enough, in my opinion, to help them win a championship anywhere down the road. Whenever you have a big receiver like that or a big name receiver like that, what happens is that receiver is good enough to help the team get above 500. But then when you get above 500, what happens is you're good enough to make the playoffs, but you're not good enough to advance in the playoffs. And then what ends up happening is when that happens too many times in a row, that receiver then comes out of a rookie contract. And when they come out of a rookie contract, you got to either pay and break the bank to keep the receiver or let him walk for free. Right? So you're in that purgatory phase where you really can't make a move to really advance in the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? So it's almost like to win the Super Bowl, if you're Arizona, you got to kind of be thinking long term. You kind of got to say, you know what? If Marvin Harrison beats out year one, we should probably like trade him for like multiple picks and just keep trading. And if you get us, like, you got to keep trading. Like, you can't, like, the team isn't good enough to win a Super Bowl the way it is. You need other parts. And a receiver is never, like, look at all the receivers. Like, go look at Megatron, DK Metcalf. Who else? Well, DK probably didn't get picked in the first round. But, like, Megatron was a first round pick. They barely made it to the playoffs. And that was it. Who else, man? Odell Beckham Jr., Sammy Watkins. Just the list goes on. You know, so the Bills were trying to trade up to get to, that's what I'm saying. A lot of Bills fans just didn't know what they were talking about. So what McDermott did was he traded back, and I think we had a pretty good draft. But let's take a trip down memory lane right quick. I want to actually go back and show you guys who the Bills picked in all their draft classes starting back in like 2017. And let's see where are they at now, you know? So here we go. So let's go back to 2017, right? So 2017, names aren't listed, but I know who these guys are for the most part. This was a pretty decent draft class. But in the middle right there was Trey Davis White, cornerback from LSU. That was the infamous pick that we traded back for with the Chiefs, and the Chiefs ended up picking Pat Mahomes with that pick. So Pat Mahomes came out of this draft. So we got Trey Davis White, who's no longer on the Bills. But that was a good pick. Like, Trey Davis White is a good, before he was getting hurt, he was a dope like cornerback. But he had two back-to-back injuries ending, two back-to-back season-ending injuries. You know, I think he tore his ACL, then tore his Achilles. You know, unfortunate. But then we also had who's that to the far left, number 4? That's I believe that's Nate Peterman. Trash. And then moving over to the right of that, that's Zay Jones. Zay Jones was a dope pickup. I like the Zay Jones pick, but this was before. I think Josh Allen may have played one season with Josh, but great route runner, great possession receiver, in my opinion. Also kind of injury prone. Now plays for the Jaguars. Then Trey Davis White's in the middle. Then we got Deion Dawkins. That's a foundational pick. That's a dope pick. Matt Milano, another dope pick. And then that guy to the right, I don't know who that is. But so if you do the math, out of those 6 players that we picked, 2 of them are still on our roster, and one is both of them. So Matt Milano and Deion Dawkins are both dope. Like, Matt Milano's dope, but he's just injury prone still. He's kind of on the cusp. He's had back-to-back years of getting hurt, and that, you know, I know he can't help it, but, you know, is what it is. But Deion Dawkins, left tackle, solid pick from my alma mater. You know, so I'm just showing y'all like the probability of like how these drafts work out. Let's go to 2018 draft. This is the Josh Allen draft. So as you guys can see, we had, of course, Josh Allen, first overall pick, then Tremaine Edmonds, Harrison Phillips, Taron Johnson, Saran Neal, Wyatt Teller, Ray McLeod, and Austin Prohl. So out of these, 8 picks, we got two that are on the team still, which is Josh Allen and Taron Johnson. I think Saran Neal might still be on there, but Josh Allen and Taron Johnson are like the 2 guys that are still contributing. So 2 out of 8, right? 2 out of 8, 1 out of 4. That's a 25% chance of like landing something that sticks. So 2 players from 2017, 2 players from 2018, right? Then 2019, Ed Oliver, Corey Ford, Devin Singletary, Dawson Knox, Voshan Joseph, Jaquan Johnson, Daryl Johnson, Tommy Sweeney. So Tommy Sweeney was a tight end. I remember his name being called a lot, or he had a couple games where he went off, but that was like but again, 8 picks. The only players that are left on the team that have like a notable standing on the team are Ed Oliver and Dawson Knox. So once again, 2 out of 8, 1 out of 4, 25%. Those are just the numbers, and that's actually a decent draft. Then let's go to 2020. So 2020, we didn't have a first round pick, but we had AJ Epinesa, who's one of my low key favorite players on the Bills. AJ Epinesa, Zach Moss, Gabriel Davis, Jake Fromm, Tyler Bass, Isaiah Hodgins, Dane Jackson. So this was a real good draft. So out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 picks, all right, make sure I can count. So yeah, so out of 7 picks, 1, 2, 3, 4. Out of 7 picks, 6 of them were good picks, but only 3 or 2 remain on the team. Actually, 3 remain on the team. It's Tyler Bass, AJ Epinesa, and Dane Jackson. Right? So those are the only. I think Dane Jackson, I'm not sure if he's still on the team or not, but I remember his name being called a lot recently, or in recent years. But 3 out of 7. So that's still under 50%, you know? So then we got the 2021 draft class. We got Greg Rossard. That was a good pick. Man, my eyes, I can't even see this. Hold on a second. Ooh, don't want to do that. Uh-oh. Don't want to do that. I should have my glasses on. But so we got Greg Rossard. Sorry, I just did that one. My bad. Who else? Spencer Brown. I've heard his name get called. Tommy Doyle, offensive tackle. Who else? Marquez Stevenson. Who was that? I never heard that dude's name. Then DeMar Hamlin came out of this draft. You know. So this was a bad draft right here. Like, only one player really starts out of this whole draft. And that was Greg Rossard. That was it. So 1 out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 1 out of 8. All right. And then the 2022 draft, which was a little better. Actually, this was actually a decent draft, because you got Kyer Elam, James Cook, Terrell Bernard, then Khalil Shakir. Like, all 4 of those guys actually like earned their playing time. Matt Araiza, I wish we kept him, but now he's on the Chiefs, aka the punt god. Christian Benford, Luke Tamuda, I don't know who that is, and then Balin Spector. So, of this draft, I would say 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, I didn't know. Okay, I didn't know Khalil Shakur went to Boise State. Wow. Okay. Anyways, 1, 2, 3, 4. I would say about 4 out of the 8 here. This was like a 50% draft where we got players that contributed. So Kyrie Elam, James Cook for sure. Terrell Bernard stepped up when Matt Milano got hurt. Khalil Shakur definitely stepped up. So this was like I think this was probably our best draft class right here of just landing players that actually stuck and that are still on the team. And then last year's draft, oh, sorry. Okay, where's 2023 at? Let me see why I don't have 2023 draft. Hold on a second. Let me see what is goings on. Put this to the side. Let me see right quick. 2023 NFL draft. I thought I had 2023 in here as well too. Here we go. Images. Oh, Bills. Yeah, I did have it in there. I wonder why the picture didn't transfer over. Because that was a draft where we got I'm just being silly. That's all that was. Yeah, here it is. I'm being silly. That's all that was. Let me actually just save this to my album. As Mike Jones would say, Mike Jones. Who? Mike Jones. My album. Okay, here we go. We back. Boom. There we go. So in this draft we only had 6 picks. So we got Dalton Kincaid, Osiris Torrance, Dorian Williams, Justin Shorter, Nick Broker, and Austin Alex. So out of this draft, 2 out of 6. So 1 out of 3, 33%. So I'm just showing y'all the numbers for how these picks actually work out. Right? So the 2024 draft, the most recent draft, we got Keon Coleman, Cole Bishop, Dwayne Carter, Ray Davis, Cedric Van Pran Granger, Edifan Ulofashio, Javon Solomon, Tylen Grable, Daquan Hardy, and Travis Clayton, who's a European he's the British dude that plays rugby that never played football, part of the NFL Europa or the NFL Europe experience or whatever that's called. So anyways, hopefully Keon Coleman and Cole Bishop, come around for us. I'm a big fan of Keon Coleman already. We got him in the second round. I think that was a steal. I think people saw his 40-yard dash time, saw that 4.64 and was like, yeah, we can't pick him. But nah, when he did the gauntlet drill, he had the fastest gauntlet drill. So that's all that matters. Can you catch the ball on the move? So I think his game speed is way faster than his 40 speed or his 40 time. But the one thing I'm disappointed in this draft is I thought we were going to load up on receiver. I thought we were going to get at least 2 to 3 receivers out this draft, but I'm not mad at the pick. Keon Coleman, I think, is going to be the centerpiece for the receiving class. We still got Dalton. Like I said, we got Dalton Kincaid, Keon Coleman, Khalil Shakir. We got Curtis Samuel. I mean, I think our receiving core is more balanced than what it was. I think we have balance at the receiving core. I think the ceiling actually might be about the same with Keon Coleman, because Keon Coleman might get Rookie of the Year. You never know. But I think the floor definitely raised up, and I think that, I feel like we're more balanced at receiver. So we're not, and we have deep field. Also, forgot, we also got Marquez Valdez-Scantling, aka Sir Drops a Lot. He be dropping passes. Hopefully he can drop that Chiefs playoff book on McDermott's desk. I think that's why we signed MVS, so we can get that playbook to see what the Chiefs be doing or to see how they go about practicing, But like I said, I mean, a lot of Bills fans before were like, they were like, oh man, we lost Gabe Davis. Oh no, we lost Stephon Diggs. We got to trade up. We got to trade everything and get a receiver. No, we were good. We good. I think the Bills are right where we want to be right now. I think we have a solid offense. I think the offense is going to run through James Cook, aka we going to let James cook. And then we got jump ball receivers, right? That's what we playing. We playing basketball. Like the Chiefs and the Dolphins want to have track meets. So they got little Smurfs that can run and that are super fast. But the Bills are playing basketball. We playing in the paint, right? We got dudes that can grab rebounds, right? We got Quintez Cephas. Don't want to brag about that name, but he a big body receiver that can catch and pull the ball out the air. Pause. Right? Then you got Keon Coleman, Dalton Kincaid, Dawson Knox. That's going to be almost too easy for Josh. Right? You got a mobile quarterback that can run around the field, keep plays alive, and then you got four receiving targets that have a huge catch radius that can catch with their hands. And then we got James Cook and Ty Johnson. So to me, that's a solid offense. And we got a full year with Joe Brady. Look, I be calling this shit out, man. I said not last year, but the year before last, when the Bills lost that game in Miami, in the beginning of the season, when we had Ken Dorsey. After that game, when he slammed the keyboard down, I was like, yo, get him out, yo. We need a new coordinator. Because what I saw in that game was just, he's one of these coaches that likes to play Madden, right? Like all these new coaches be playing Madden. They want to just throw, but they don't want to set nothing up. My thing is, when I saw him go down to that goal line in Miami, right, and we were at the goal line and we were first and goal, and we didn't attempt to go play action one time. When we didn't go play action one time, I was like, yo, we going to lose the game. And if we lose a game, we got to get this dude off our team, yo, because he don't know how to coach. Lo and behold, that was the game. So Joe Brady, I said all season, when we finally switched over to Joe Brady last year, midseason, I said, look, if we run the ball, we will be all right. And everybody was like, oh, well, the Bills can't run the ball. I'm like, no, there's a difference between not being able to run the ball and choosing not to run the ball. The Bills just chose not to run the ball. I looked at that average. We had a 4.3 rush. I think it may have been either 3.2 or 5.1 or something. Either it was either a 4.3 or a 5.1 rush average per rush, but we just weren't rushing the ball. And I told people, man, if we run the ball 20, 30 times, we going to win the game. And when we did that, we ran the table. So I'm excited to see what Joe Brady going to do, because Joe Brady looks like he has some common sense. Then part of the issue is you got to keep the leash on Josh Allen. You can't let Josh just get out there and throw. You got to run and set the run up, and then after that, with them big body receivers, with them catch radiuses, man, it's going to be too easy. Now, defense is a whole nother game. Defense, I might have to have a whole nother pod to break that down, because we lost a lot of people on defense. Cole Bishop, I hope he can. He got to fill some big shoes, because we lost. We lost both Jordan Poyer and we lost Micah Hyde, so that's huge. So hopefully, Cole Bishop can hold down the fort, but that's what it is. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of times in football, like if you look at all the teams that win championships, and if you look at their receiving core, they don't really consist of the number one overall receiver, right? We look at the Chiefs, they didn't have any first round top 10 receiving talent. Or look at the Patriots, right? So teams like the Patriots, the Chiefs, even when the Giants won their Super Bowls, they didn't have the top tier receiver. So to me, the top tier receiver thing is a trap. That's a good. If you're always picking receivers in the top 10 every year in the draft, then you're just not running your franchise right. Like if you got a receiver that's going off and you can't get out the first round of the playoffs, you got to hurry up and trade. You got to hurry up and trade them and get picks, and then get a couple. Cause look, the late round receivers, there are a lot of gems in the late round, man. Like you got like Puka Nacua came out in the 5th round. Stephon Diggs came out in the 5th round. Kyer Elam. See what pick was Kyer Elam? Kyer Elam was. Yes, see, we got him in the 5th round. You see what I'm saying? You don't need to be reaching for these receivers like that. But like I said, I like our draft class. I like where we at. But this is gonna be an interesting draft, man. Because you look at the quarterbacks. All these quarterbacks ain't gonna make it. Right? When you look at that Josh Allen draft, right? It went Baker Mayfield, Sam Darnold, Josh Allen, Josh Rosen, then Lamar Jackson. And Baker Mayfield got his career turned around, but he's kind of doing this up and down, you know? And then Sam Darnold, you saw what he did. Josh Rosen, you see what he's doing. Or he's not even in the league, I don't think, anymore. He might be in the league still. But I want to show y'all something else right quick, too, right? A lot of people were tripping when we got rid of Gabe Davis, but I knew we were going to get rid of Gabe because I saw how he drafted. When we drafted Dalton Kincaid, I knew we were going to move on from Gabe Davis because they're pretty much the same type of receiver, even though Dalton Kincaid is a tight end, but Kincaid is a non-blocking tight end, you know? But I want to show y'all something right quick if I can get to it. Then I got to wrap up and get out of here. Hopefully I can still do it. Ooh, are they gonna let me do it? They might let me do it. Okay, cool. Let me actually just pull up some random data right quick and show y'all something. Let's see this right quick. Let's look at the fantasy data for here we go. So this is the fantasy data for Gabe Davis, right? You know, so here it is, right? So Gabe Davis is a boomer bust receiver, right? Like week 2, 20 plus fantasy points. Then we had to wait till week 5. Then week 8. Then week 12. And then week 16. So he's going to give you like 4 games where maybe 5 games where he, you know, goes off for you, you know, but that's not what we need. Buffalo needs, like, he kind of reminds me of I actually want to show y'all the data for DK Metcalf right quick, because I think their numbers or just how they put up numbers are about the same. So let me find Seattle. Where's Seattle at? Here we go. Let's take a look at DK Metcalf. See, look at that. He had a 38-point game in the wild card weekend of 2022, and then a 40-point game in week 13, then 20 points in week 11, and then 20 in week 3. That's not going to cut it, man. Like, you need receivers that can, like, put up high team. I'd rather have a receiver that just puts up high teens, like 17, 18, 19 fantasy points, like 10 out of the 18 games in the season. That's what I need. You know what I'm saying? So, no shade to DK Metcalf, but he's a boomer bust receiver, and that's not going to cut it. So anyways, like I said, I like where Buffalo's at. Now, defensively, that's a whole nother ball game. That's a whole, we got to figure that shit out, you know? But, I just wanted to kind of go, come on, Dre. I just wanted to, go down memory lane and just show y'all, like, how many of these picks actually work out, and then why trading up is stupid, right? When you try to move up in the draft, like, if you can move up to possibly get Maserati Marv, then okay. But still, if you got to do that, you better have everything else already built. You can't just be grabbing and doing shit the Raider way. That's how the Raiders did. The Raiders used to just draft all these receivers, and then they can't block, can't catch, and then they get out of their rookie contract or whatever it is, and they go somewhere else. So, just wanted to take a trip down memory lane with y'all to show y'all the numbers and, you know, how the draft can be deceiving. So, once again, AT is where it's at on most forms of social media. So follow me and like, comment, subscribe, tell a friend and tell a friend, do all that fun internet stuff like the old people say. But thank y'all for tuning in. And ba-deep. I'm out of here, folks. Peace. Yep. Trippin' with Theobold.
Let's go.
Caliente.
Trippin'. Yep. Trippin'. Trippin'. Trippin' with Theobold.
Trippin' with Theobold.